What's up with it, man? It's the Kid Pushman Mitch, host of the No Fluff Podcast, a.k.a. the kid with the swags, the whips, and the bags. Don't forget about that. I got a super special guest here today, man. I had the luxury to be able to be on his platform, and he is now coming back to bless me.
Let's go.
Ultimate
Let's
networking.
Go.
My brother, Ashcash,
yes, sir.
a.k.a. Ashcash.
Yes, sir. My
What's
brother,
up,
man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me, man.
Man, you're welcome. Look, man,
yes,
we're going to get this real organic, man.
Yes,
I had to get you in here because you somebody who I look up to.
Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you. I've been seeing all of the conferences, the Path of Prosperity.
Yes, sir.
Bro, you're making a huge impact on the community, and we appreciate that, bro.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
So it's 2023, though.
Yes, sir.
What's happening in 2023? You told me community a little bit.
Yeah.
What's the goal for 2023?
Yo, so fast shout to abundance is your birthright, man. Abundance, I just got the trademark for this.
Okay, I seen that.
And so for me, it's really about really just teaching people how to really get to the bag, really get to abundance, right? And so I have something called the Abundance Community, building the community out. I was going to write a book called Faith Made Millionaire, right?
Okay.
And I wound up changing the name of the book to, Abundance is Your Birthright. And I want to teach people that if they tap into the source, whatever they believe in, right? If you tap into the source, that's how you get to the bag for real. You know what I'm saying? And so, that's my message for 2023 and beyond is that abundance is your birthright. You made in the image and likeness of the Most High God. Okay. And if you tap into that, that's the source of your abundance, and that good people need to be rich and make a lot of money. Okay. So they could do more good, period.
Oh, so what is the importance of getting the bag? Why should anyone want to get the bag? Like, why?
I think that you cannot live a fulfilled life if you don't have money. If you don't have money, right? If you're a father and you don't have money, how can you support and give your wife everything that you want your wife to have? Okay. How can you give your kids everything that you believe that they deserve? Okay. Right? People who turn their nose down to money, or people who got money, it's because they haven't experienced what that feels like to really have anything they want. Right? And so, I grew up in the projects though.
Facts.
So I'm not even talking from some Beverly Hills Silver Spoon. Nah, I'm from the projects, 129th, 8th Avenue, Harlem, crack era. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I know what crackheads, I'm talking real crackheads. I know what, right now they tucked away under the bridges.
Fact. So Flip off above the
I know Flip, all of them. you get what I'm saying? And so I know real crackheads. I grew up in a single parent home. My dad wasn't around. My mom, I'm the youngest of three. My mom raised three of us. Welfare, running, before the EBT cards, running in the store with the paper, with the white dollars and all that. So I know all of that. Right. But being the first multimillionaire in my family, I could do anything. There's nothing I cannot do right now. Right? Like literally, like I live in Atlanta now. Cameron, Mace, and Jadakiss are having a concert in Apollo in New York. Yo, I'm out. Let's book a flight. We out.
Let's hit that.
We out. Front row. We out. And I don't have to think about it. I don't have to look at my bank account. I don't have to think. Right. My daughter, she about to graduate high school right now. I'm sorry. She about to graduate middle school and go to high school. She was like, yo, I want to go to this high school. I know the high school is a private high school. It costs a bag. I didn't check to be like, oh, well, can we? No, all right, that's where you want to go? Go ahead, take the test. So what I'm saying is there's a level of freedom being able to again, be, do, and have anything. I'm talking about no limits. Right. And for a long time, what we've seen is negative people with bad intentions getting the bag and living this life, and we're like, oh my God, I go to church, I go to the mosque, I'm doing right, I don't steal, and you think you're supposed to get rewarded for that, right? And so now you turn a blind eye. Now you have a bad association with money. You think that once you get money, you're gonna turn to what you see as this negative thing of money. But when you're a good person, when you got good intentions, you deserve a lot. I'm talking about a lot of money, right? Because here's the other thing. Last year, right, generated, 8 figures, right? But what they don't tell you though, also, is that I circulated almost $5 million back in my community, though. Right? And so there's people who I hired who made six figures. Right? There's companies that got a bag too. So it's not just, Ash Cash got the bag, Marvin got the bag, Storm got the bag, Path to Prosperity got the bag. No, we also circulated money back into the community. We also gave people a premium experience, right? We're also giving back at such a high level because we got the bag. If we don't have money, then we can't do the good.
This is facts. I like to say two things about that. So I think that people without money, they do what they can.
Facts.
And people who have money do what they want.
100%.
And I think just the option to be able to do what you want versus do what you can, everybody who definitely people who with good intentions should be able to do that.
Absolutely. I agree.
So that's my thing.
I agree.
And then the second thing is, like you just said, I feel like when people make money, we automatically become philanthropists.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I think naturally all human beings are empaths, some more than others.
Yeah.
But I think naturally none of us want to see anybody do bad.
I agree.
We want to help people.
I agree.
Naturally. So naturally myself, I'm a philanthropist. I know you give back a lot.
Bro, I literally go to the bank and like ask for thousands of dollars so I make sure nobody know what I drive. So when I'm in the car, if I pull up, I want to make people happy.
Facts.
So somebody pull up on me and they got the sign and need something to eat. Yo, here's $100. Here you go.
Right.
Right. And here's the other thing, right? And I didn't mean to cut you off because you know I get excited, brother.
I know. I want to hear it. Let them know.
But here's the other thing, right? Here's the other thing is that if you believe in a higher power, right? If you believe in God, well, you also know the more you give, the more you prove God. Because guess what? You and I are just vessels.
Right.
So somebody's going to wake up and they're going to be praying for God for something. They're going to say, God, I'm hungry. I need this, or I need this opportunity or whatever. And then you're going to show up in human form and you're going to be the answer to that person's prayer. They're not going to say, thank you, Mitch.
Right.
They're not going to say, thank you, Ash Cash. What they going to say?
Thank you, God.
They're going to say, thank you, God. And so for me, God know I'm going to do right. And so God said, yo, let me keep blessing Ash Cash. Let me keep blessing Mitch. Because guess what? They could do my work the more I bless them.
That's powerful. And I feel like also that's just the energy you want back into your world.
100%.
Like, I feel like me in particular, I give a lot, and it's not just to receive. I give because I like to give. And I expect, like, I've had so many opportunities given to me. I had so many breaks. Like where it could have been bad, but I got a break.
100%.
You do what I'm saying? So I think about that all the time when I'm out here giving in the world. So even when I go to Starbucks, I got a thing that I do, my routine. I go to Starbucks all the time.
Yeah.
So when I go to Starbucks, I pay for the person behind me. I might hit 2 or 3. It depends on how the line look. I might say, get all 3 people behind me. I got them.
Right.
And then just keep moving. I don't stop to wait for them to say,
100%.
appreciate you. I don't even do that.
Yeah.
But I do it because I can understand. I can imagine being in the position.
Yep.
It don't matter if I don't eat at McDonald's, but if it's a McDonald's, I would do the same thing.
Yep.
But you got to imagine if I'm in a situation where I'm like, yo, I really want to get this food or this drink, and I'm really short, but I got to get it.
Yep.
And then I got to go work and bless it up. But somebody just blessed me one day.
Yeah,
it's just everything.
Yeah, let me show you, right? Literally, where's this text? And I'm not doing this to stunt. But look at this text that I just sent to my son's school, the last one.
Sis, Brenda, I want to anonymously pay for lunch for my son's class for the rest of the school year. Can you please let me know how much to send you? That's big.
You know what I'm saying? Because and I tell you, right? Because at the end of the day, it's that, right? The greatest form of giving is anonymous. Like I don't need recognition.
Right.
You just do the good thing because it's going to bless somebody. And when you bless somebody, the truth is, it's the most selfish thing you could do is to give, right? Because life is energy. Right. Universal law. There's a law of reciprocity. Whatever you give is what you're gonna get.
Facts.
If somebody's hating on you right now, you know why they're hating on you? Because you're a hater.
Facts.
You might think, well, I don't be hating. Yes, you do. In your head, maybe you might not be outwardly hating like some people.
Right.
But in your head, you like, oh, look at that. Oh, look. Right. So you a hater. And so the only reason you getting a lot of hate is because you a hater. The only reason people are envious of you because you're envious of other people. Yo, you show love, guess what? All you're going to recognize is love. All you're going to do is get love back.
No, that's facts. The energy you put out is the energy you get back.
100%.
So, I mean, I always tell people I'm a retired hater. I used to hate all the time.
Yeah.
I used to see like a dude riding in something crazy. I'm like, man, he doing too much. He doing dude wearing crazy design. I'm like, come on, man, you got to do all that just to get people.
Facts.
I'm hating.
Facts.
I'm not even knowing that I was a hater at the time.
Yeah.
So me, I had to understand, like, literally, I wanted to be in that person's position, but in order for me to feel better about myself, I wouldn't even say it to nobody else. I'm just literally just thinking it and might say it to a chick I'm walking with. Oh, come on, he doing too much. But really, Shorty would talk to him and she would be cool with him. Absolutely. He's a person who has more to provide. Yep. He can make more impact than I can, and I'm inferior to this. I'm envious to this. Yeah. So I had to be like, yo. So it literally, my life didn't change. I didn't stop hating on people until I sat down and said, you know what, maybe I need to grind and get busy. And when I started to get busy, I started hating a lot less. I started being able to have these things, and people started hating on me. Then it flipped to me, and I understood the mindset of a person who would hate. Yeah. And then also, like you said about energy, the more that you give to the world, the more the world gives to you.
100%.
The more that you take from the world, the more it take from you.
Yeah.
So if you're always a person who's trying to steal, you always trying to take, trying to scam, you doing chargebacks, you ordering shit from Amazon, and you saying you didn't get the package, that stuff comes back, and we wonder why we don't level up.
Bro, I literally watch your ascension, bro. From the moment I met you, you had great energy always, right? And that energy, and you know, I don't pray on nobody's downfall, but in our space though, I've watched other people fall though.
Facts.
And the reason is, I believe, is because of what they were putting out, right? I've watched you, right? And there's no coincidence. When I see you and you killing it, yo, I'm always like, yes. Like, yo, you feel like my brother, though, for real. I want you to know that. Like anything you need, you know what I'm saying? Like, you my brother. God. Like, I'm like, yo, he feel familiar. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Likewise.
And, every time I see you win, I'm like, yes, right? And I kept seeing the switch. I kept seeing the switch, like the up level. And I wasn't surprised, though. Because your energy is consistent. Like your energy, you always smiling, you always giving off good energy.
Facts.
So guess what you're gonna get back? You're gonna get good energy, right? You always helping, you always want to give people opportunities, giving game. So guess what you're gonna get back? You're gonna get back game.
Absolutely.
And then that game's gonna get you to the next level.
Absolutely.
There's other people though who are in competition.
That's
and
true.
they always competing. They holding back information. They trying to get one up, and they trying to be sneaky, but smiling your face, right?
Crazy.
And then you look, and you like, damn, homie. Last year you was the man.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? And again, I don't pray on nobody's downfall.
Facts.
But I'm watching, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because like, what are people putting out there? And so you have to watch your energy.
100%.
Whether it's outward or inward, because you could also like you can't fool the universe.
You can't.
The universe know the energy you putting out, whether you say it verbally or you feel it inside, and whatever you like, you gotta want for your brother and sister what you want for yourself.
Whew.
Period.
That's a bar. No, I mean, that's the thing. And I thank you for that compliment, too. And I receive it, and I feel the same way about you. Ever since we met, bro, it's been, we out of here.
Yes,
because I just like people who naturally you can tell the energy is good, and you're going to just be yourself. I expect if I tell Ashcash to pull up, he going to be Ashcash.
That's it.
And that's all we can ask for.
Yes, sir.
But a lot of people, they do put on the different face.
Yeah.
So let me ask you about that. How many times, have you been in a situation where maybe you was hanging out with a certain individual or certain people, and you didn't want the association, so you had to disconnect yourself?
Man,
maybe as when you at the where level you at now.
Yeah.
So you deal with a lot of different personalities,
Yeah.
high value. So have you ever been in a situation where you was talking to them or dealing business wise, and you had to disconnect?
All the time.
All right. So tell me about that.
All the time. I do. I do it now. For me, I don't. Energy doesn't lie. And I don't make excuses for energy. It just is what it is. And at this level of my life, I have enough awareness to know that it would be selfish of me to go against what my energy is telling me, because I have a responsibility to a whole bunch of people, right? And the more I allow myself to be around energy that could potentially bring me down, the more I'm not able to focus on the people who actually need me. And so I'm sacrificing the millions for the one, and I'll never do that.
Yeah.
Right? So it's almost like being in battle, right?
Right.
And if you're in battle and you like, I'm going to have to kill this one person Because if I don't kill this one person, this person is going to do something crazy that's going to blow up millions of lives or affect millions of lives.
100%.
And so I'm going to kill that person with I'm going to sleep good at night. Because I know I don't look at it from a negative perspective like, yo, I just killed this person.
Right.
I look at it like, damn, thank God I just saved millions of lives, right? And I take that as serious with my work. And so, especially though, right? Especially when you get to this level, everybody sees you now.
Right.
Everybody wants to be around you.
Sure.
Everybody wants access. Everybody wants your influence because it's going to help bring them up. But at the end of the day, you know, it's like if we're hot air balloons, as we're rising, the only way you can rise, you got to let go of that anchor. If you holding on, it's impossible for you to rise as high as you're supposed to rise if you're holding on to that anchor. So you got to let them go. And so for me, I make no apologies about it. You know what I'm saying? If I'm around somebody and their energy isn't good, you know, I'll be honest. I'm a Scorpio, right? And so I may not necessarily tell you first, right? I may just start to distance myself, right? You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I'm also not trying to hurt nobody either.
Absolutely.
And so I understand the power of words. So I don't want to tell yo, bro, you hot right now. I can't. You know what I mean,
right?
Or your energy off. Like I don't want to put that on nobody. Right. Because sometimes you can't even explain it either. So if I tell homie, yo homie, your energy off, I'm good, I don't want to rock with you. Right. Now they want an explanation. Yeah. Now you gotta verbalize how you feel. Sometimes you can't verbalize how you feel.
Sometimes that conversation is not really necessary.
Exactly.
So especially when you already made a decision. Like I made a decision, I'm not gonna rock with cuz. Right. There's nothing that we need to talk about. I'm gonna just disconnect slowly. I'm not like you said. It's an important part. This is important. The flip side of what I was going to ask you was the part that the playing ball aspect. Yeah. So let's say it's a person who has significant influence, or people who have significant influence. You used to deal with them. You don't deal with them no more. Yeah. Now when you coming back to people asking you about them, that's the play ball part. Right. So you don't say nothing negative. Never. You never hate on them. Yep. You be like, hey, you know, I'm sure he's doing well. Yeah. You know, I ain't seen him in a minute, but let me know. Tell him I said whatever 100%. You see him. And that's a thing that a lot of people don't talk about. Yeah. Because normally it's like, yo, forget him. It's over. It's, I don't rock with him. Right. But for me, you got to be able to balance both. So you got to say, I'm cool with your energy. I used to, kick it with you. I'm not cool with you. Yep. But I'm also not going to hinder you. Right. Now, but there's a crossroads here. And this is the most important part. So if they are doing something negative, is it your responsibility to educate people who are asking you about them? Nobody talks about that.
This is good. So, yes, just not publicly. Okay. So, and this is just me, and some people may not like my answer. Right. But I will never talk negative about anybody who is black publicly.
I like that.
Never.
I like that.
You will never see me be like, yo, this dude, never publicly.
Right. But if somebody come to you one-on-one.
If they come to me one-on-one.
And this is somebody who you rock with.
And I rock with them and they ask me, I would tell them the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
But if they don't ask you, you don't say nothing.
I don't say nothing. I mean, it depends, right? So here's the deal, right?
Okay.
So I've had business relationships that I no longer have, and people who publicly saw me with these relationships might be thinking about doing business with them. Right. And they may come to me and ask me, like, what was my experience like? Right. I'll tell them my experience.
Right, but they came to you.
And they came to me.
But if you just saw them working with them, that's the question.
And if I just saw them working with somebody, it depends on the level of the relationship. If it
got to be somebody that's like
that I rock with.
People's.
Yeah.
Right. So because the flip side of it is they can just run back and tell them.
Right.
And then now it's a public
and
situation.
Also, you don't, because you got to think about it, right? You got to think about energy, like what we just said. Right. Is that you give back from the universe what you give. Right. And so where is my grace for that person to change?
This is true.
Am I saying that, because you're a dirtbag forever?
Facts.
I was a dirtbag once.
Right.
I did some shady stuff once. Right. But that's not who I was in my character. Right. It was my scarcity mentality. I didn't know abundance was my birthright. Right. So it was my scarcity mentality that had me acting out in that way. Okay. And so for me to put that on them as if that's who they are forever, right, is now other people could do that to me. They could be like, oh, nah, don't rock with Ash.
100%.
Wow, oh, he famous now, but yo, you remember back in the day, he used to tag up on the walls, or he used to, he used to shoplift. Like, yo, like people don't notice, right? I'm look exclusive, and people don't notice. But when I was 16, I had a record.
Right.
For theft of service and criminal trespass. Right? But I was underage, so it was expunged. Luckily, right? So that way when I came, and literally, because I was a banker. And, every time when I first got into the banking world, every time I had to go to a different bank, because, they had to fingerprint me, because it's a federal, they got FDIC insured.
Right.
They would fingerprint me, my record would come up. And I would have to go to the courts and get a something from the court saying that record was expunged. So what if somebody's like, yo, Ash is a thief? You know what I mean? And it wasn't nothing crazy. It was literally hopping a train. It wasn't nothing crazy. Right? But somebody could be like, nah, he got a record for criminal trespass and, theft of service. You know what I'm saying? And like, yo, and they could hold that against me. So for me, if somebody has done something, I have to be rocking with you for real to be like, yo, bro, let me just tell you, be careful. And even in that, I ain't gonna tell you not to rock with them. I'm gonna be like, yo,
just be aware.
Be careful, cause homie, homegirl does da-da-da.
Right.
And that's as far as it would go. If I see it, you know what I'm saying? If I see them rocking with somebody else, that's as far as I would go if I really rock with a person like that.
Right. And I agree with that one. So I kind of see it like this. Even it sometimes comes back to bite you, but you got to be able to live with it because it's an energy thing.
Yeah.
But I see it like that as well because what happens is if somebody does it to somebody else too, then you got to be like, damn, like you feel like I should have said something.
Yeah.
And they'll come at you like that.
Right.
And then I'll be like, yeah, well, I ain't want to be on that type time.
Yo, honestly, and it's full, I'm not going to say no names, but full transparency, I'm in that situation right now. I'm in that situation right now where I know somebody who secretly, and I don't know, I mean, people trust me, so they tell me stuff. So I know somebody who was secretly hating on somebody.
Right.
I got word of it, and then the person that they were hating on, they decided to do business with them. Right? So now I'm like, oh.
Yeah, but you can't say nothing.
But I can't say nothing because y'all locked in.
Oh, I see that a lot.
Whoa.
I see that a lot.
And so it make me feel, like sometimes I be like, yo, I should, you know what I'm trying to say? And
I see it a lot,
But again, the thing is like, you don't want to say nothing. Again, you don't want to say nothing because a lot of times it ain't your place to say.
It ain't.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think I only feel weird about it if I'm asked, and I'll be like, damn, I don't want to have I don't want to be the bull who got to say this. But it's facts.
Right.
But also, I look at it kind of like how it is for a relationship. Like me growing up, getting in relationships with women, I wasn't raised by like my dad teaching me how to court a woman, right?
Yeah.
So when I was dating, I didn't know what to do. I wasn't really opening doors. I wasn't doing like chivalrous things.
Yeah.
But when I dated a woman who taught me, if she were to go and tell her next joint that I talked to and say, man, he don't even open doors for checks. He don't want to tip nobody. He ain't paying for this. Like, it'll make me look bad. But she gave me the opportunity I learned from her. I learned from my mistakes. Now she taught me. So now my next girl, she get the benefit of me knowing what I'm doing.
100%.
But it's kind of like that, like, as far as, like, relationships too, like in business, like you might have burned me, cool, but now you know
exactly
not to do that no more. Maybe,
yeah.
But you just might be a killer.
And you pray for them. You be like, yo,
that's all I can.
Hopefully they learn.
That's my thing with that because I see it a lot, man. But me, I'm an energy guy. I go with my gut. I go with my gut in business, relationships, friendships, anything. The numbers can be perfect,
and it's so crazy because, like, again, like, I'm going through that right now where I had an associate I was working with. Didn't work out. Energy wasn't right. Didn't work out. Not a bad person, but didn't work out.
Exactly.
And I'm watching them work with other people.
Right.
I'm not gonna reach out. I'm praying. I'm like, yo, I hope you learned. I hope you learned because I was the bag though, B.
Yo,
I was the bag, and that's the other thing about having good energy.
Right.
Is that people think good energy mean you're not aware.
Right. That's the worst part. And
it's the best part, though. Nah.
No.
Show me your hand, baby.
It's the worst part dealing with it, though. It's the worst part dealing with it because you a good person. You want to keep the energy positive. I don't want to mess up your image.
Right.
I don't never ever want to take it there.
Right. No, 100%.
So now, since they know that, if people know that about you, they might feel more comfortable playing with you like that.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And then you gotta. Then it's like you come to the crossroad where you're like, yo, do I gotta be this person right here, or do I gotta just keep it cool and let the world take care of me?
Right.
Because sometimes it is a balance, because you might have to pull out a little bit of the, you know what I mean?
100%.
But sometimes you can just let the world deal with it.
Yeah. So I look at it this way. I think for me, you know, what is it, like play a possum, catch a snake, or something like that?
Yeah.
Just something like that, right? Like, I'm okay with it. Like, people don't realize, I was a CEO of a credit union. Like, people don't know that. Like, I started my banking career at 19 years old, right? By 31, I was a CEO of a credit union. Yo, I've had merger and acquisition conversations with billion-dollar companies, with billion-dollar CEOs. So when I walk into offices and I'm smiling and I'm acting like the nice guy, people think, I don't know what they think, but a lot of times people try to get over, right? And for me, it's a blessing, because I want to know whether if I left $100 on this table and I walked away, I want to know if I come back, if the $100 is going to be there, even if you think I would never know it was there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's the cost of the game. I think even if you act, even if the toughest guys get tested. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like, even the toughest people, meaning, and it don't gotta be gangster stuff, but like, even if the most sharkest people that walk into a room that from a business perspective are gonna get tested, and so I don't think you could, you know, diminish that or lower that probability. But at the end of the day, like, you know, it's cool. Like, it's cool when people, you know, and you know, you put certain things around you to make sure that you don't get tested. You know what I'm saying? So,
exactly.
Like, if you're a nice guy, then, you know, like me, I'm a nice guy. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot to get me out of character, right? But I also know that not everybody has the best intentions.
True.
So I got a couple of dollars, so you keep some goons around you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that, you know, I come from the old school. If I'm the bag, my hands can't get dirty.
Facts.
Right? If you see me with a bodyguard, that means police is watching. Mm-hmm. And I only use his waist to keep my Glock in. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's facts.
And so at the end of the day, you do also, as a nice guy, as somebody who presents good energy, you also want to have certain things in order to protect you just in case. You know
That's true.
What I'm saying? Yeah.
All right, so I want to pivot from that, because that was easy seal right there. So keep it around you. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. But not on you. You feel me? No, that's what I'm saying. But look, peep this. So Ash, you got
run up if you want.
You might not want to do that. But this is my thing. Yeah. So you ran up a nice bag, bro. You've done well for yourself.
Yes, sir.
How important when it comes to running up bags is taxes? And the reason why I asked you that is because the first year that I made $1 million, I made $2 million. I think it was 2018. Mm-hmm. 2018. I made $1 million, but I made $2.2 million that year. Mm-hmm. Now, I went broke after that year. Mm-hmm. And what I meant by went broke was I spent money while I was making money. Yep. So I made 2-point-something million. I claimed that on taxes. Yep. Now I owe a little bit over $600,000, yep. $700,000, right? If I'm paying taxes correctly, because I know that's more than half. Yep. And then I got my expenses, whatever, but still, I didn't have that much money left in my bank account. Yeah. So my tax bill was more than what I had in my bank account, even though I just made the most money I ever made in my life. Yeah. Right? So after that, I'm in a hole, and I got to run these businesses still. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I got to pay taxes. So how important is it, like, how important is taxes first, and then what do you strategically do for your taxes? Because now I had to learn. I had to literally go in the hole, go back on Gorilla Grind, learn what things to buy, what expenses I can do, where should I set my companies up at, all of these different specific things that I had no idea. So a lot of us, we're teaching a lot of people how to make money, right? And then we're making them figure out the tax portion on their own. Yeah, 100%. So how important is taxes to Ash Cash?
Yeah, so taxes are vital, right? They're vital to really being able to make money and enjoy the money, right? And I think that, I'm not an accountant, but make sure you have a good one, right? Make
How
sure.
do you get a good accountant, Ash?
Referrals. That's it. I don't go by followers on IG.
No, sir.
Don't go by the person who, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's some great CPA and people on IG who gave some great advice.
Right.
But when it comes to you and yours, make sure you could prove that this person has helped other people. That's it.
In your tax bracket.
100%.
Now that's what I had to find. So me, I'm
Yeah.
on CPA number 4.
Yeah.
So I had multiple accountants, and even when I had that situation happen in 2018, I had a CPA.
Yep.
And they definitely did not know what the hell they was doing.
Yeah.
I was like their highest account. That's never a good idea.
It's not good.
So you
100%.
want to see what type of accounts have they using, especially for entrepreneurs specifically.
Yeah.
So you don't want to go with just company tax.
Right.
Because if you're an entrepreneur, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
And they're going to merge the two.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's a lot that goes into it. So now when I'm making 8 figures, it's a little bit different.
Absolutely.
But it's still, you need to know what's going on,
Yeah.
what tax credits you apply for,
Exactly.
how all of these loans work,
Exactly.
like why you need to have debt, why is it important.
And I was going to say, I like debt is your friend when you make a lot of money.
Yes. It's
Debt
so
is your
important.
friend. When you make a lot of money, you live off of debt.
Yes.
Right? Because you don't have to pay taxes on debt. And so if literally, if you're able, and this is not accounting advice, right?
Right.
But if you run up a bag and you take that bag and you buy an asset, you put that money in that asset. Now that it becomes, you're not going to be taxed on that money because
Right.
you just bought this asset.
Right.
But now this asset is sitting with equity.
Right.
And so if you're able to pull the equity and live, and now you're cash flowing or you got money off of that equity,
Right.
you could spend that equity.
The equity is tax free.
The equity is tax free.
That's the only thing.
Yo, I don't know if y'all caught that.
Yo, so I'm gonna give him my example. And again,
Yeah.
like he said, it's not tax advice, but it's just what I've done literally. So basically, my last property, $400,000, I had to put down.
Yep.
$400K down. This has helped me at the end of tax season. As y'all see, I bought a crib right before the end of the year.
Yep.
So I spent $400,000 down on it, got a $2.5 million house. So basically, I bought that with a jumbo loan, a business bank statement loan, right, where I didn't have to use any tax returns and these type of things, right? Then I filed taxes after I did that, and I claimed the money that shows that I make enough to afford the house that I got with the business bank statement loan.
Yep.
So what I did was, now I owed the taxes, but I wrote off the $400K, right? Then I did a cash out refi for that same amount, which was tax free.
Yep.
So the down payment money that I spent that also helped me write off on taxes, I actually got back and it's tax free.
Yeah.
So that's normally the play. Like those are the type of things you learn after being in the
Absolutely,
hole.
100%,
Sometimes you
100%.
got to learn from experience.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like a lot of us are first generation
And that's-
millionaires.
yep,
so
absolutely,
we
yeah.
come in the game, and sometimes that'll take you right out though.
Yeah, 100%.
So you be a first generation millionaire, you make a lot of money, and then your taxes take you right back out the game because now. Not only did you got to make the money you made last year, you got to double, triple it to get back right.
Right, absolutely.
And that's the scariest thing.
yeah.
So, I always like to ask people,
Yeah.
what's their experience? Like, so what was your worst experience with taxes?
Worst experience? I mean, luckily for me, I've been managing money for wealthy individuals in the banking space.
Okay.
So I kind of knew. I kind of knew a lot of this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so, when I started making some real money, I already had good accountants and good knowledge though too to know, what type of assets to buy, what type of things to do with my money. And so, man, I honestly don't have any, not as an entrepreneur.
Okay.
I don't have any sort of like scary tax things. I know I had when I was working, I almost went through foreclosure because I didn't, I quit my job, then I went back, so I had it was like 2010, 2011 around the recession part. And so one of the things that I did was, I got a loan modification for my house. And then when I got the loan modification, I thought that they were like forgiving the amount of money that, so I bought the house for $425. They gave me a loan modification because the house was worth, $2 and some change now, whatever the case may be. And then I got a tax bill as a worker for like $200,000 because they were saying that even though it was forgiven, the way the bank presented it was as if they, like they're passing it on to me though, right? They're writing it off. They're saying we're taking this 200 and something thousand off of this loan, and now we're passing it on to you. And so the IRS looked like they sent me, I think it was a 1098 form, and they're saying that they're passing it on as income, and so now the IRS wanted me to pay that. So that I think that was the scariest part that I had.
Crazy.
Had to finagle and figure out how to kind of lower the burden and pay that off. But other than that, I've been so far so good. So far I haven't. Been, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, all praises due.
You feel me? Hey, no, that's good. All right, so another question I got is, what was your biggest investment where you lost money on the investment?
Man, biggest investment that I lost money on to date. Man, honestly, I would say, I don't know if this counts, but I would say, this conference that we just threw, right?
Which one?
The Path to Prosperity.
Oh, that was the biggest loss?
Yeah, because and I don't necessarily look at it as a loss, but we definitely went over budget. Mm-hmm. We definitely said, we gonna put pop about 1.5 and give people a good experience, but because we took the heart, man. Success loves speed. So we was like, we want to do everything fast.
Right.
But what people don't realize is that when you want success fast, you're gonna have to pay for it. Mm. And so what started out as a $1.5 million budget, we probably ended about 3.9.
That's very high over.
Very, you know what I'm saying? And so, we wound up going to, but. In our head, we were like, we want everything to be like premium. First conference, mega conference we're doing. So we haven't proved the concept. So we don't have any, anybody who's sponsoring us. Everything is from our pocket. And so ending at about 3.9, I think for me, I would say that's the biggest loss, you know what I'm saying, that I took, because we could have, I think we could have pulled it off at like 1.5 had we, maybe stretched out the time and did it at a different time.
Right.
But I always look at it, as a blessing. It was a loss that we could observe.
It was, from the M's come from the L's. So
100%.
That's a part of it, but you know how to do it next time. How not to do it next
time.
Bro,
when I tell you, because we're gonna have an annual conference.
Right.
When I tell you that we've learned so much that the next one's going to be just we're not going to, it's going to be just as nice, but it's definitely not going to cost us what it
That's
costs
a fact.
us. Yeah.
So let's talk about that. So, I know you as being this super podcaster, super author. You doing all these things in the entrepreneurial world. You clearly an ex-banker. You do all of the finances, things like that. Yeah. Clearly you got clothes that's dope. Past prosperity. You're an artist at this point. You got songs, which is one of the hardest ones. I really
living in abundance, B.
You know what I mean?
Check that out.
No, for real.
Yeah.
So let's talk about.
I need to get you on something too, man.
Get me on it, man. I be spitting. I rap, I sing, I really get busy, but I'll do that for you. I'll come out of retirement. You know what I mean? We'll put something together. So I wanted to say, what you got going on that the people can tap in with. I really want you to just help the audience make some money real quick. So give them something that they can take right now and walk away from this interview, do it, and then make some money.
So here's the deal, right? So I am a 13-time author. I've written 13 books. 4 of them have been bestsellers. I've sold close to 200,000 books, all independently. Right now is the best time that you could ever write a book. I think everybody. I've been telling Mitch forever that he needs a book. I promise you, it would help his brand exponentially. I'm talking about it would take him to the next level because he's the expert in his space. I have never seen anybody who could do what he could do in this space. He's the obvious leader in it. And if he creates this book and becomes the authority, think about it. Grant Cardone had 10 books, right? When did Grant Cardone flip over and become a billionaire? When he wrote the 10X Rule, right? You think about Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. When did he start to, create this massive training company? When he wrote that book, right? People don't know this. Gary Keller, the owner of Keller Williams, right? The biggest real estate company on the planet. He's the author of The One Thing. he don't even talk about real estate. Right? He wrote the book, made himself the authority. That publicity that he got from having a book that sells millions of copies now gives attention to his business, and he becomes the biggest in the world, right? And so I would tell anybody watching, you need to write a book. You need to become the authority. If Instagram shuts down, TikTok, if all these different places shut down, what are you doing? I've proudly been a financial educator, influencer before IG, right? Like when it was magazines, I was in magazines. When it was blogs, I was in blogs. Now it's podcasts, I'm in podcasts. When AI take over and now it's in the metaverse, I'm gonna be in the metaverse, right?
Sure.
Because I'm the authority. If you Google my name, it comes out. So I want everybody to become the authority. Root word in authority is author, right? And so I'm gonna give y'all 5 real quick ways in order for you to write your book. Matter of fact, AI is gonna help you so much. It's gonna help you get to the next level, right? So number 1, so I call this share, SHARE, right? Number 1, start with the end in mind. Whatever your knowledge is, what do you want people to get when you teach them, right? And so think about what my knowledge is. What result do I want anybody who reads my books or join my programs? What do I want them to have? That's S, right? Share, start with the end in mind. H, I want you to highlight the steps that it's going to take them to get to the end, right? And so if I want you to become an author, I'm going to say, listen, my goal for everybody, I want everybody to make 6 or 7 figures as an author and build 15 streams of income. So that's the end that I have in mind. And so now, number 2, highlight the steps. What is it going to take for people to get there? So I'm going to write all of the steps that it gets to get there, right? Then number 3 is A. I want you to abandon the computer. What does that mean? I want you to dictate your book. You don't even got to write it, right? Speak your book into existence, literally, right? There's an app called Otter, OTTER. Get the app, and now look at the outline that you just put together, and pretend as if you're on a podcast or you're teaching. Pretend that you're teaching your audience this information, right? And so now you talk into Otter. What Otter does is text to speech, right? Or speech to text. Right. So now you're speaking it, and everything you speak, it's actually allowing it and creating it as text. So now when you have this text, right? Number 4 is review your masterpiece. But guess what? You don't have to review your masterpiece yourself. There's a new app on the scene called ChatGPT, or you could use any other artificial intelligence. You take what you just said, you put it in the AI, and you say, AI, please reword this. Guess what it's going to do? It's going to reword what you just said. It's going to take out all the errors. It's going to make it concise. It's going to break down everything. And you keep doing that for the whole book. Now you've literally written a book. Mm-hmm. And then last but not least is E, and that's enlist a team to help you get to the finish line, right? So that means that you get a graphic designer. You get somebody who knows how to help you publish it, right? You go to kdp.amazon.com and you upload the book on there, and literally you're done. I wrote a book called Book Rich. How to build a fortune as a self-published author, literally in 5 hours. Just exactly what I just said right now. I wrote the book in 5 hours, published it in 5 days. Now it's available on Amazon. So anybody right now, I've just removed every excuse you ever had to not be a published author. You could literally do it in 5 days following the share method. And I promise you, once you do that, right, it's going to exponentially grow your business, because guess what? You don't have to promote nothing but your book. You promote your book, and as you promote your book, in your book, you want to promote your other products and services, right? So for instance, my main core business that people pay me $50,000 for is to ghostwrite, but also to teach people how to create 15 streams of income from their book. Okay. Right? So right now, I just gave you the play, but guess what? I can help you make 15 streams of income from it.
Facts.
And so guess what I do in my book? In my book, I'm teaching you all of this stuff, but at the end, I want you to come rock with me. I want you to help, like, let me show you how to get to the next level. So you follow that, right? You follow that 5 steps, but in your book, make sure you're promoting your products and services. I promise you, you'll be rich forever.
Just like that, Ash Cash did what Ash Cash does. So as you can see, this kid is the authority in his particular field. So he's been telling me to write a book ever since I met him. I have written a few books, but I haven't published anything yet, so I will be doing that soon. And like I said, Ash Cash, I thank you for coming. I want you to tell them where they can find you on the gram. I want you to tell them how they can find out how to tap in with you after they buy your 5-step book, because I'm going to drop all the links below, but I want to make sure they know how to find you and tap in with you.
Yo, listen, first and foremost, go to IamAshCash.com. That is my website. You'll see everything there from all of my different programs, my books, my podcast, because I am the host of Inside the Vault, the greatest money mindset show on the planet. Yes, so y'all got to check that out, right? Yes, but go to IamAshCash.com. You can follow me on all social media platforms at I am Ash Cash. If you want to tap in with the books, I am an expert. I've helped people make 6 figures and 7 figures. Actually, last year I helped 8 people reach the 7-figure mark, and 11 people did 6 figures. So I know a little bit, and I've done it for myself. So I know a little bit. If you want to tap in with my team to help you with a plan on how you can get the 6 and 7 figures with your book, go to 6figurecall.com. That's the number 6figurecall.com, and all it is a 15-minute conversation with my team. They'll tell you what we have to offer. If it's in energetic alignment and it feels good to you, then let's rock. If not, no harm, no foul. I just gave you $1 million worth of game. Literally, you run this play that I just gave you, you're gonna be good. So check me out, 6figurecall.com, and then I am Ash Cash.
You dig? No Fluff the Podcast. You know what it is. Ash Cash, a.k.a. Inside the Vault, Miss Expressioner. You know that.
Let's go.
We out. You already know what it is. See y'all next time.